You are about to experience the Jersey Jaguar YouTube channel, the greatest YouTube channel in all of history when it comes to your Jacksonville Jaguars. In order to become a subscriber to this channel, if you haven't done so already, you only need to fit 3 criteria. First, you must love the Jacksonville Jaguars. Second, you must hate, better yet even despise, the Tennessee Titans. And third, and most importantly, you must know in your heart with everything you have that Shad Khan is a complete and total buffoon. If you fit those 3 criteria, hit that subscribe button, join me on this YouTube journey, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Sit back, relax, and listen to the best Jaguar insight on the YouTube platform. You know, a wise man once said that it was always the Jaguars. And you want to know what's better than it always being the Jaguars? That it is not the Tennessee Titans who will be hosting a playoff game next weekend, but it is the Jacksonville Jaguars that will be hosting a playoff game next weekend. I told you guys the Jaguars were going to vanquish evil, and evil is officially vanquished. It's dead. That organization, that franchise is dead. Derrick Henry is on his last legs. They're dead. They have nothing. They have no quarterback. They have no weapons on the outside. Their defense, the few good pieces that they do have, are on IR half the time. They have nothing. You want to know what we have? We have the best head coach in the division and a top 5 head coach in the NFL. Don't argue with me. I don't know why you would if you're watching this video, you're a Jaguar fan. Top 5 coach in the NFL, and Doug Peterson, who is coach of the year. Don't care if he wins the award or not. He is the coach of the year. And we have a quarterback who is going to be dominant in this division, who is going to win multiple division titles in his career, if not a dozen of them. Dominance is what this game started. Did Trevor have his best game? No, he didn't. But you know what's great about this game? You know, the Jaguars last year do not win this game. The Jaguars 2 years ago do not win this game. The Jaguars in 2019, maybe even in 2018, might not win this game. 16, probably not. 15, probably not. 14, 13, 12, 11. How far do you want me to go back outside of 2017? This team is different. This team is different. How many weeks did we hear? They have to learn how to win. We'd hear Jeff Logman, well, you know, this football team just has to learn how to win football games. How many times did we hear that on the radio and on the YouTube channel for the Jags? Well, guess what? They've learned how to win. The Titans, I hate them, but you know what? They are elite at stopping the run, and Travis Etienne, JaMychal Hasty couldn't do anything. I think we had like 20-some yards, maybe even 30 yards rushing on the day. Horrible. Give credit to their defense, I guess, for that. No running game to speak of. But you know what? Even when the Jaguars could not get their running game going, other facets of the game picked up. Trevor Lawrence, although he didn't play perfect, made some good throws at key times, had the beautiful touchdown to Christian Kirk. He missed some throws as well, I'm not going to lie, but he also made some key critical throws. And the defense, although they were lacking in the first half, second half totally clamped down, and this has been a completely bend but don't break defense. As frustrating as they can be sometimes, lately, this defense has been causing turnovers at mass. Tyson Campbell with the key interception, even though it was a terribly thrown ball. But still, make the plays when they're available to you. Tyson Campbell interception. And then the play that won the game was Rayshon Jenkins coming on the safety blitz for the sack fumble and then the scoop and score from Josh Allen. I mean, you talk about this, when is this team going to learn how to win? Well, they've learned. Because when one part, what would be your strength? Because when you think of the Jaguars lately and the second half surgeons that they've had, you think Trevor Lawrence throwing it all over the field and Travis Etienne with explosive runs. Well, the Titans, to their credit, did a solid job of eliminating those two things. Good teams, when other teams take away their best aspects, they find other ways to compensate and win the game. And it all starts with a great head coach, and the Jaguars have that. Doug Peterson, by the end of his career here with the Jaguars, he will go down as the best coach in franchise history. He will surpass Tom Coughlin, because if the Jaguars will ever win a Super Bowl, it will be with Doug Peterson, and that will cement him as a Hall of Fame head coach, winning a Super Bowl with two different organizations who had never won one before. And the ironic thing is, me living here in Philly, that's kind of ironic for me personally. The fact that I witnessed Doug Peterson win a Super Bowl for all the people around me, my family members, and to think that he could do the same thing for me is incredible. It's incredible. Doug Peterson is Coach of the Year. Whether he wins the award or not, I don't care, and I doubt he will. It'll be Sirianni or Brian Dable, but Doug Peterson is the Coach of the Year. There's no question. There is absolutely no question. I believe the Jaguars are only like the fourth team in history. We've had over 100 seasons. This is only the fourth time that a team has gone from the first overall pick to a division winner and in the playoffs the next year. And not just first overall pick. We're probably even more unique because we had back-to-back first overall picks. Doug Peterson, Coach of the Year. Nothing more to be said. Even if the Jaguars get destroyed by the Chargers next week, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Coach of the Year. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about this game. So, I thought, and I think a lot of you guys thought, that this would be more so of a blowout game, that Trevor Lawrence was going to throw for 400 yards, and we were going to slice and dice them, and the defense was going to totally harass Josh Dobbs, which they did in the second half, but not so much in the first half. And we were going to win by 3-4 touchdowns. I think a lot of people thought that. Did not happen. This was not a fun game at all. I had a really stressful day at work yesterday. And guess what? Coming home immediately, because I got home around 7:30, and then to immediately watch that game, my heart was kicking into overdrive with about 10 hours of pure anxiety and stress. Okay? Just not a fun game to watch. Outside of the scoop and score, I don't know if I ever really want to go back and look at any plays from that game. I don't know if I ever want to go back and see the highlights, because it wasn't a fun game. I'm sure if you were there, it was incredible. But watching it wasn't fun until the very end. Pure anxiety driven, pure stressful, pure they are actually going to lose to Josh Dobbs, and this incredible season is really going to end this way. I can't believe this. We don't have to worry about that anymore. The Jaguars won the game. Why? Because good teams find a way to win, even when maybe they shouldn't win. And the Jaguars have done that. The Jaguars, your granddaddy's Jaguars, they're dead. This logo, 3 to 5 years from now, is going to be looked at the way that you look at the Buffalo Bills logo right now. The way that you look at the Kansas City Chiefs logo right now. The way that you look at, most years the Baltimore Ravens. For years, the Patriots. The way that those logos are perceived, that's where this logo is heading. And it's incredible. I am not ashamed to admit that after we stopped them on that last fourth down, and when Trevor Lawrence kneeled, I started to cry. I teared up and I started to cry, because it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing to, I have been with this team since I was just a little kid. I have loved this team. I have loved this organization. I have loved this game of football literally my entire life, since I could comprehend what football is. And just to see that, which, by the way, this season is already more meaningful than 2017. That's a different video that I plan on making, but it is. Because 2017, a little bit of a fluke. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's call it what it is. A little bit of a fluke. Because the next year it crumbled and we've been horrific the last 5 years. This is not a fluke. Not a fluke. You will see the Jaguars will win 11 to 13 games next year. And the next year. And the next year. And the next year. This is the new normal. Running the AFC South is the new normal. Trevor Lawrence is the new face of that division. Trevor Lawrence is going to be, he's another icon now in the NFL. When you turn on ESPN and you hear them talking about Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence is right there. Trevor Lawrence is right there in that conversation now. He will rule the AFC South for the next decade. It's done. It's done. And seeing that and realizing that and that hitting me last night brought joyful tears to my eyes. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. But not quite as beautiful. Sitting here talking about the Jaguars. Let's talk about the Tennessee Titans, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? The Tennessee Titans do not have a quarterback. The Tennessee Titans do not have an offensive line. The Tennessee Titans have a running back who's on his last legs, and he's still good. It's not humanly possible for him to continue to be this good for much more than maybe another year, 2, maybe. It's not physically possible. He will fall off the cliff. And then they have nothing at all. Let's take a peek at the rest of the division, too, while we're at it. The Indianapolis Colts. They actually, especially since they lost to them today, to the Houston Texans, the Colts might be the worst team in the NFL and in this division. The Colts have no head coach. Jeff Saturday ain't keeping that job. They have no quarterback. Maybe they'll try to pull Jimmy Garoppolo, or maybe they'll go after Derek Carr or some other, failed Hail Mary attempt at a quarterback like they've been doing the last 3 seasons. Which, by all means, go for it. Because guess what? This time next year, they'll be doing the same song and dance. And the Houston Texans, they had Bryce Young right here in their hands, and they just went, whoop! They dropped that. Lovie Smith is out the door, so they have no head coach. They have no young, promising quarterback in their future. What Tom Brady did to the AFC East for 2 decades. Welcome to the new AFC East. Welcome to the new AFC East. And then, of course, you get the people, oh, well, Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars are only good because the AFC South is so bad. Yamma, 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 yamma. But you know what? When Trevor's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 division titles, and the Jaguars have won a Super Bowl, and Trevor Lawrence has multiple playoff games and victories under his belt, who cares? Who cares what they say? Because you as Jaguar fans, me as a lifelong Jaguar fan, we deserve this. Just soak it all in. Love every last second of it. And you know what? Even if we lose to the Chargers next weekend, it's okay. I'm telling you. I mean, will I be sad? Sure, I'll be upset. But you know what? It's okay. It's really okay. I'm not going to be devastated if we lose to the Chargers next weekend. Because this is the new normal. In 2017, when we lost to the playoffs, well, that was different. We were so close to the Super Bowl. But it was like, I didn't know when we'd be in this position again. Because even then, I didn't really know how sustainable it was. And clearly it wasn't. It fell apart. This is sustainable. It is. This is sustainable. And speaking of stability, I can't make this video and not talk about this. Duvall showed up last night. That place was electric. I have never seen that stadium so filled. And for all the people that say that Jacksonville is not a viable market, and all the, herpader, move the team to London, and all that crap, you win football games, that's what happens in that city. You win against the Chargers next weekend, watch your season ticket sales go through the roof. Promise you. Promise you. That was a beautiful sight that I was seeing on my television last night. And every single person, every single Jags fans that was there, I envy you. And I hope you have the time of your life, because I would imagine that place was electric and just amazing to be at. So I had to throw that in there. Duvall showed up. They're going to start showing up for the next decade, because the Jaguars run the AFC South now, and it's a beautiful thing to see. That's all I got for you guys today. Enjoy this, man. This is an amazing feeling, Jaguar fans. My t-shirt's already on the way. It's already been ordered for the division championship. You know, I suggest you order yours too. Wear it proudly, man. Jaguars are division champions. Many more to come. Go Jags. Screw the Titans. Well, look at you. You made it through the entire video. I appreciate that. Since you've made it this far, you might as well go ahead and share this video with every Jaguar fan that you know. Really helps the channel grow. And hey, us Jaguar fans got to stick together. Duvall.